So, without further ado, it's the man of the hour. It is Gary Simmonds. Now, this man, if you don't know who Gary is, he's got so much value he's going to bring to you guys. So, get your pen and paper. He's going to be dropping some real golden nuggets. So, Gary, you are top of our leaderboard for recruitment so far this month.
Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Hopefully, you're in a quiet place with a pen and a pad. This is Ellie MD's compensation plan that's in the cloud office. I've always been someone that enjoyed reading pop-up books when I was a kid. I still do. So this is like the pop-up book version of the Ellie MD comp plan, right? That is the official compensation plan that's in the official brand partner back office. That's where you go for real terms, rules, the legal stuff, the proper verbal representation, qualification requirements. I'm going to bring quite a bit of it to the surface for you, but I don't want anybody to be confused that the visual representation, which is all I have, that I'm going to be going through these slides, this is going to complement as a learning aid. Okay, just wanted to clarify that. So appreciate you all having me on this call. I'm grateful to be able to share the platform with you. I don't take it lightly. So let's jump right in. Right. For those of you who haven't met me, I'm Gary Simmonds. I'm in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and I love this industry. I'm absolutely ecstatic about this company for reasons I don't even have enough time to get into right now. But you're here to learn about compensation. Now, we have the leadership, Hani Sigari. We have the vision with the corporate staff. You all are really great, obviously, at telling the stories and getting the products out. But from what I understand, the average person coming into the direct sales space in the team building arena may not have some of the understanding. So I'm going to give this to you like a cousin, okay? We're all in the same gang. So the first slide up, guys, this is the most important part of the compensation plan. You got to have the right attitude, right? There's no place for stinking thinking. You got to decide that you're going to win from day one. And I love the word decide because it's one of those aside words, right? Like genocide, homicide, suicide. It's a death word. To decide means the death of doubt. It's the death of double-mindedness. That means the first thing you want to do is to be able to make a decision. If this is not for you on the business side, that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with saying no, but you want to avoid procrastination and make a decision and believe that you can win, all right? So having the right attitude is going to determine your altitude. Now, the meat and potatoes of any organization is growth. And the way we're going to approach that is through goals. Now, when we get into the comp plan, what I'm sharing with you now is going to help you digest it a lot easier. So make sure you set a goal. This may not be your goal, but this is the goal I recommend for everybody that's brand new starting out. Within your first 24 to 72 hours, set a goal to lay in the foundation to get 1,000 PV done ASAP, right? Agree to be ready, agree to be coachable. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to focus on getting your customers out of the gate. That's going to validate you paying for your own product too, right? I'm on tirzepatide and I love the product. I've been on it for about 3 weeks now. I'm down like a little over 10 pounds. I believe I'll be at 12. You know, the weight loss journey is definitely something I needed, but the big serendipity, the surprise to me, and I don't make any medical claims, my heart rate seems to be a lot more stable. And I absolutely love that. I'm 52 years old, and that means a lot to me, right? It also means a lot to your friends and family members who are out there struggling that don't know there's a solution. Okay, I'm not going to explain the product. That's not the nature of this call. But I want to encourage you to look at helping people, right? You want to help people make the decisions to change their lives for the better. And when you do that, you get a bonus back on your own order, right? As a brand partner. You have at least 4 customers doing the same thing, even on the semaglutide guys, you're getting $330 back. So it's a great way for people to get started, recover their investment in their own health, create a model of duplication that everybody can absolutely do. I believe that. And I had a friend of mine, I was on the phone with my friend LG today, and we were talking to Rebecca. And one of the things that they asked was, well, wait, do we have a program yet where people can get their products, for free in the company as a customer? I said, well, not yet. We're working on that, maybe soon, right? But your friends can actually refer friends to you. And you can have them as a customer. You can run promos towards your customers who refer their friends and help them cover their costs. So that's just a caveat. This, to me, is the most important part of the comp plan, is learning how to activate it. So some of you are not really numbers oriented, and that's fine. You're probably not going to understand everything about the comp plan, but you definitely want to understand how to execute the comp plan and become profitable, okay? So this is U+4. It covers yours, guys, and everybody can do this. And none of us, after a month or two, should be paying for our own product anymore. All right, moving on along. Now, I'm building this up for you guys because I do have some experience. I am not a guru, right? I don't really like gurus because gurus have a lot of failure when they finally figured out they write a book and it's like we bow down and worship. No, that's not what this is about. We're all in the same gang. We have different experiences and sometimes it just clicks. And this has clicked for me in a major way, right? I've learned to build organizations with 3 stories and I've seen it work for many, many years. The first story is your story, the action story, right? I took a look at this. It made sense to me. I made a decision. I got enrolled right away. That's the biggest story you have because human beings are a herd species. We're going to duplicate. They don't do what you say, do what you do, like kids. So your friends want to know, what do you think? Because they trust you. You're the person introducing them to this. And if you're like, hey, I'm just kind of still kicking it around, scratching my head, I really don't know, they're going to kick it around and scratch their head and really don't know too. And that's what you're going to duplicate in your organization. The reason why my organization is growing fast because people come in and I've decided to set the proper example by what I have done. And most of the orders coming in my organization are for tirzepatide because that's what I ordered. It's because that's what I needed, right? My point is you order what you need, but facts tell, stories sell. The second story you want to focus on is your order story. And this is going to cause Ellie MD to explode because I see what's happening and it's a perfect storm. When you get involved in this business, you got to place an order. You really should. It's, well, I don't need the GLP-1. Okay, get on some B12. Okay, get on the Sermorelin. Get on something because you're telling people, well, I want you to do this and make a commitment, but I haven't yet. That's very difficult. But my friends are like, what did you get? Like, the kids at school, what's in your lunchbox, right? That's how we function. And I've used that to build teams into the 7 figures, 8 figures, actually, because it's a simple building block that people can duplicate. I ordered. So it doesn't have to be a GLP-1 story. It could be any story that shows that you've made a commitment, you set the example, and please don't be the person that says, I can't afford it. I will not embarrass anyone, guys. I don't put off on people. I get it. Times are tough, but I've had televisions that I've taken off the wall to the pawn shop. I've done that before because my kids are more important than the Super Bowl to me, right? Anytime I need to start a business and I got to get it in, but I don't have it in the bank account, I will literally go sell jewelry. I will have a yard sale. This is America. There's no excuse to not come up with $300-400, guys. And I'm going to leave it at that for the sake of respect, but everybody should focus on setting their order story, all right? And the next story, the last one, is your success story. Like, what did you do? Is it working for you? Yes, you got a product story, but you also have a launch story. And this is one of the biggest things that people miss. It doesn't make any sense for me to sit on this call for 30 minutes or an hour or whatever time it's allocated and teach you guys all the numbers and you don't know how to execute it, right? Execution is king. 1,000 PV is easy to do in my experience. And we don't make any claims or guarantees, guys, but there's a couple of different ways to approach it. I know some of you are affiliate marketers and I respect that. I know nothing about your world. It's just total admiration, right? You guys are running ads. You're doing your organic leads, and that's not something I'm here to train on. I'm going to talk about what Hani talks about a lot is that word of mouth. The fact that we have 200 to 300, 400 people on our cell phones. We don't go to dinner with them every day, guys. You may not have even spoken to them for years, but 93 million people in this country, 1/3, are dealing with obesity. And that means 1/3 of the people in your phone are looking for this phone call. They're looking for a text message. Do something to reach out, but you got to take action in your first 24 to 48, 72 hours max. This is about speed. It's about momentum. If you haven't done it yet, you can start over. Every day is a new day. Like Beth said, Team Joy, you can start over and let this be your, did I launch? If I didn't launch right, I'm going to go back and launch. I'm going to make my list, my best 10, 20, 30 contacts, my trust circle. Guys and gals, that's low-hanging fruit. You know, that's where your success story initially comes from because these people trust you and you're simply planting seeds. You're getting them on a Zoom. That's my most powerful tool. Or send them a video. Send them something that you're not the person explaining what an agonist is. Or I call it an antagonist. I don't know what a peptide is, guys. That did not make me the top recruiter in the company. And I say that with humility because I'm sure somebody's coming for my goat real soon. But I don't explain the product. I absolutely don't want to even know what's in it because we have the support. We have the medical telemedicine system. We have the leadership in this company, so we can focus on keeping it simple. I don't even know how it works. I just know I feel amazing. My heart rate is down. I hit the gym twice in 2 days, and I'm about down 10 to 12 pounds. That's how I'm growing my organization personally. My personal production is what I'm focused on, okay? So get your best 20, 30 contacts immediately to a Zoom or watching a presentation. You're planting seeds. Your first month is not the big money month, guys. You're like a farmer. That's where you're laying all the seed that you can and you let the cream rise to the top. But I'm going to move on. You want to also become a master connector. Honey calls it being a pointer. And it's the truth. When I have people that come in and they're excited, guess what my leaders can tell you? Beth can tell you, Gary puts people on the phone with her. Sarah can tell you, Gary puts people on the phone with her. Jennifer can tell you, Gary puts people on the phone with her. Honey can tell you that. Everybody can tell you that. Laura can tell you that. I am a professional connector. And that's why the people get involved. Because if I'm saying everything and giving them all the answers and being the expert, they literally think, remember, what's in your lunchbox? Oh, I have to do what you're doing to my friends. And I ain't doing that. Oh, no. I allow my partners to see the presence of help, that someone is helping me. So they realize someone is there to help them too. The comp plan means nothing, guys. What I'm giving you right now is the comp plan training. Because if you don't know how to build your network and explode growth, knowing all these numbers that I'm going to go through means nothing. I can't say that enough. That's a horse that's been beaten somewhere. I'm going to move on. But I got some good caveats in this presentation for you guys. Now, let's go to some basic compensation plan definitions. These are all in Ellie MD's official compensation plan, okay? But I'll put them up here in the pop-up book version for you. Basic definitions, these are very important. Your career title, what is that? That is the highest rank you've achieved in a 12-month consecutive cycle, guys. All right, that's your highest rank achieved. And you're demoted, right, if you don't maintain that rank within a 12-month cycle. But this is a high demand product, so I don't even think in those terms. Your paid as rank is your most recently qualified rank, right? So if you've had a high rank before, that's your career title. That stays with you for 12 months. So this company's not going to demote you because you missed qualification 1 month and you have to walk around and do the hall of shame, the walk of shame. No, they honor their leaders, and whoever put this together I think is a very brilliant and caring person. Okay, moving on into more definitions, you're going to see the term PV. And again, I'm speaking fast because this is recorded. I want to maximize the time. PV is personal volume. That is your personal production circle. That's what you're responsible for in business every single day, right? That's what the small business owner in America wakes up and focuses on every single day. If he or she's a hairstylist or a landscape specialist, they're focusing on what they're doing with their customers and business acquisition. It's not about being a professional poster. I post a lot, but I'm on the phone a lot more, and I'm texting. I'm in people's inboxes. You got to be reaching out to people and pump up your personal production. That's the volume that's generated between your personal orders from yourself and your customers. That's your circle. Everyone works on their production circle. 1,000 PV plus is what I recommend, okay? Next one is QV. That's your qualifying volume. That is everyone else's personal production. Your sponsorship tree, the people you sponsor, their PV, right, which is them and their customers and their organization, is your QV, right? Moving on. Then you have DV. That's your downline volume. You'll see that in the comp plan. It could be a little confusing how it's worded, I think, but it honestly just means total volume. Okay, DV is PV plus QV, and you can always refer back to this recording. Then you have CV. CV is converted from the QV for your commissions earned on your organization. Downline, all your QV in the unit level, in the generational bonus, is converted to CV, and that's converted at 70%. The company splits their profit with us. I think 70% is very handsome in my experience, okay? And that's the definition. And then moving on, we have MVR. That's the maximum volume rule. In some companies, they call it a leg cap. And I'm going to give you an example of that so you can see it. But this counts up to 50%, no more than 50% of your required rank volume from your PV, right? And any of your legs that you sponsored, their QV. So here's an example. This affects all ranks between the advanced brand partner all the way up to executive, okay? Give me 1 second, wrong button. Here we go. So here's a little pop-up window for you guys. In this example, let's say that's your personal production circle. You got 3,000 PV. That's you and your customers. And then you sponsor somebody named George, and he's just killing it right now. He's down there. He's got 4,000 PV in his personal production, right? So that becomes your QV. You see that? That 4,000 is now your QV. So if you're running for the rank senior manager, which is what I believe everyone should focus on as a rank, the baby steps are important to celebrate, but you're trying to at least get the senior manager as fast as you can to collect all the fast track bonuses and the one-time bonuses, advancement bonuses, that's what they're called. Forgive me for that. Advancement bonuses, you want to collect that because that's $1,500 on the way to senior manager. So with senior manager, you're looking for 7,000 in volume, qualifying volume. That's your total DV, right? Now watch this. If this individual is generating more than 50% of the required volume for that rank, it only counts 3,500 PV or QV. It's only going to count 3,500 because that's half. You can't get credit in your rank, even though you'll be paid on the whole 4,000, you'll be paid on the whole 7,000, but you won't be paid as a senior manager. You'll be paid as an advanced manager, the rank below that. Because if you look at the qualifying volume, you have 3,000 from your personal production, right? You're credited towards your rank 3,500, which is half what's necessary for the 7,000 for senior manager. You add that up, guys, that's 6,500. That's not qualifying for senior manager. So that means you have to have more PV or have another team on the side, guys, because this rank doesn't require, outside volume. That's for the directors and up. So go back and play this again if I lost you a little bit. Again, the recording is going to save us some time. You're going to repeat that as much as you want, okay? Now we're going to go into a couple of definitions that apply to directors and above, okay? There's something that's in the compensation plan. You may not even notice it. It's called volume sources, a volume source. That definition, in a nutshell, your two strongest sources of volume, that includes your personal production circle, your PV, see that? And the volume or QV from your sponsored legs. In this example, you see how you're at the top, you're doing 3,000, and you have three other legs or three sponsored groups that are doing, well, first one is doing 6,000, 1,000, 2,000. That means that 6,000 QV leg is your highest volume source. Your personal production circle is the second highest volume source. The system will pick the two biggest volume sources as your volume source. Now, why is that important? That's only important to determine the outside volume requirement, okay? And that is necessary for ranks director and above. So let's move to that slide. Take a look at that. So OVR, your outside volume rule means you have to have a certain amount of volume, and I'll show you on the official comp plan in a nutshell here. Look at this, what it says for director. You require 12,000 total. Your maximum volume rule is 6,000. That means between your production circle and any one of your sponsored legs, only 6,000 max can be counted towards that rank. Even though you're paid for all the volume, this is just about determining at what level you're paid. That's what your rank does. And notice over here, you have your outside volume requirement of 1,200. So back to the slide, in this example, you have that 3,000 PV you're doing, that's you and your customers. You got your first, you two are the volume sources. Everything outside of that, everything other than your volume sources is considered outside volume, okay? In this example, you have 1,000 here and 2,000 there. That's 3,000 for your outside volume. That's the definition. Moving on. Now, it's a pop-up version of the comp plan when it comes to the number one way to make it work. Won't spend a lot of time here, but this is retail, this is customers, this is you pointing people to the system. Pretty simple to do. On a $299 order, that's our most common product, the semaglutide, you're getting 220 PV, right? The company's sharing their profits with us, guys. I'm excited about that because you're talking about $44 up to $88 on an order. I'm only used to seeing like $9 or $7, maybe 15 if I'm lucky. This is amazing. That means if you never build a team, you can absolutely make a killing here. No income claims, read the small print. But look at this example. I edited it to match what Jennifer said a couple weeks ago, and I heard a loud and clear. 23 customers, guys. That's what it takes to cross that bridge to max out to the 40%. So the bonus structure on just the retail business is tiered, right? Up to 349 PV, you're at 20%. But when you get up to 5,000 plus, you're at 40%. And you're not limited to 5,000. You can go to 50,000, right? What happens when you get, 200 customers? Right? Now you're at 50,000 in volume, you're making about 20 grand a month. You don't have to build a team. If you just focus on helping people, guys, this is going to duplicate anyway. All right. So moving on along. The number 2 and number 3 ways, the advancement bonus is number 3. When you look at the ranks from lead brand partner all the way to senior manager, remember that $1,500 I talked to you about? That's what these numbers add up to. Every time you achieve a rank, you get a bonus. You get another bonus. You get another bonus all the way to senior manager. And when you get to director, now you're into the lifestyle bonus, right? It rubs hands like Birdman. You're into the lifestyle bonus now because you're at $500 a month as a director. Advanced director is $1,000. That is impressive to me because that's only $24,000 in PV. I will leave that there because that's another class. That's a hallelujah moment, right? And then look at that. You got $2,000 a month as an executive director. Now, no income claims, but I've done the math. If somebody can do 100,000 PV by themselves with just customers if they have the network. But let's just say in the typical example, this is only an example, at 100,000 organizational volume, guys, $100,000 a year in income is extremely achievable. It's very achievable. And I wish I had the time to expand it, but I'm telling you right now, to me, we're talking money talk right now. It's lucrative and it's sustainable because this is the hottest trending product in the world. Now, moving on, we get into the unit level. Don't let this confuse you. This is simple. This is you and you're sponsoring people. The people you sponsor are always on your level 1, but that also includes their customers. That is incredible, guys. So if somebody comes in and they don't want to recruit or team build, but they're just killing it with customer orders, all of that is in your first level. And the people that they bring in are in your second level, and it trickles down to level 4. Well, why only 4 levels? I've always seen more. Oh, not more than this. I'm about to show you something that's going to blow your head up. But within those first 4 levels, you can build a ton of volume because you have unlimited width. There's no limit to the number of people you could bring in on your front line. I'm showing you 1. You can have 10. You can have 100. You can have 1,000. It doesn't matter. The company doesn't cap you on how many people you can help change their life financially. So please don't think you're limited in any way. This is actually a big plus in this industry. And I was so excited when I saw it because generational bonus, and I have a diagram for that, which I'll show you in a second. Woo, I was up all night on that one, but thank you, Jennifer, for helping me organize and get the final thoughts in place. Teamwork makes the dream work, guys. None of us have all the answers. You know, you got to be connected to the hive. So the generational bonus is very interesting because I can only speak from my experience. Most companies will cut that payoff at level 7 through 9. They ain't giving you level 10. That's where all the volume is. That's where all the money is. That's why they don't do it. Okay. The generational bonus allows you to get unlimited levels within 4 generations. And I'm going to show you a visual example of that. You can earn up to 3% additionally on the volume in your organization in those 4 generations. A generation begins when someone in your sponsorship tree becomes a senior manager. They qualify 7,000 qualifying volume in their organization. They've achieved that rank as a career title. It opens up a generation to you. Now, what if they don't re-qualify the next month and they're no longer a senior manager? They're still a career title for 12 months. So it's still a generation to you. That is brilliant and it's absolutely generous. So thank you for whoever put that in the compensation plan. So even if they took a walk in the park and I got $100,000 worth of volume underneath them, I'm still getting paid on that. You're still getting paid on that. This comp plan incentivizes you to really dig in and help people. And that's really what we're here to do anyway from the product side. And now we're talking about the business side. So just make a note, the senior manager opens up a first generation up until the next senior manager. It may be on the next level. It may be 10 levels down. And when I show you the picture, hopefully your brain don't explode, but it's very exciting. Now, I will tell you this, a senior manager can appear on any level. It doesn't have to be past level 4 or level, it could be on level 1. If you're getting 10% on level 1 and you have a senior manager, that person becomes a level 1 senior manager to you, now you're getting 13%. Get out of here. Are you kidding me? You're getting 3% extra on every level that your senior manager falls into that 4-level structure of your unit level. I wish I could really tell y'all how significant that is, but let's move on for the sake of time. This is recording. If y'all are having fun with this, put a thumbs up in the chat box. Now, moving on, this is what I showed you all together in one page, so I'm going to skip past that. Now, let's look at what it looks like when you become a director, because that's where you tap into these lifestyle bonuses. This is just an example of commissions that can be earned. Again, no income claims. Some of you will make a little less, some of you will make a little more, just depending on how you're retailing and how your organization is doing. But this is a basic example. You have unlimited sponsorships and width. Remember, I'm only showing you 4. The 2 biggest ones in this example are your volume sources. You got a leg at 3,000, another one at 4,000. You got another team at 1,000, another one at 1,000. You got 12,000 altogether because you're doing 3. You see that? So if you add that up, your 3,000 PV plus a 9,000 QV, which is your downline PV and their customers, is QV to you. That's going to give you 12,000 in total volume. That's your organizational volume that we call DV, right? The unilevel percentage is paid on the CV, which we talked about before. But here's an example of how that lays out. I keep pressing the up button. All right. Now, look at this PV, guys. You're at the 35% level on 3,000 PV. Your PV is not converted like the QV is. Your PV is straight up, that's a percentage is drawn right against that. You've got $1,050 in commissions in your personal production circle. That because the compensation is heavy. On tirzepatide, it's like $96, guys, when you're at 40%. It's almost like $100 per customer, right? Now, you have level 1s. In this example, level 1, you got 4,000 QV on your first level, converted to CV as 2,800 CV. Guys, that's $280 in this example, 10% of 2,800. You see that? Great. Level 2, you got 3,000 QV there. That's converted to 2,100 CV, $147. And if you don't understand it, just go back and listen to the recording, right? And level 4, level 3 and level 4, respectively, $35, $21. But guess what happened? You've achieved all those ranks from lead brand partner all the way to senior manager. So you collected that $1,500 in one-time bonuses, rank advancement bonuses I talked about before. And now you're qualifying for the lifestyle bonus as a director, which is $500 a month repeatedly each month as long as you're qualified. You do the math on that, guys, that's a little over $3,500. Give or take, again, no income claims. This is an example. It could be more, it could be less, but $3,500, I don't know where most people can pick that up part-time, spare time, anywhere, especially with a product that's in such high demand. Now, moving on along, let's get into these generations. This is the fun part, okay? And I'll go a tiny bit slower to you because some of you have never looked at this part of the comp plan, and you're like, it just makes my mind explode. But again, this is the pop-up version, and you already know where Ellie MD's official comp plan is. If you look in the top left corner, I already explained that. A generation opens up when you have one senior manager to the next, and it goes in that line up until you reach the 5th senior manager. That completes the 4th generation because other people have to eat too, okay? The company has to distribute the money so everybody's being compensated accordingly to the effort and the team that they're building, and that's pretty fair. This bonus is only available to directors and above. That's why it's so important for you to get to director as fast as you can so you can get to these senior managers in your group and open up generations. In this example I'm showing you on the screen, let's suppose the first person you sponsored all the way at the top there, below the orange line, you know, let's say that's Joe. Joe came in, he's excited, got a few products, but he's not really building. But he led you to Cindy, and Cindy's a fireball, and she's doing her thing, but, you know, Cindy led you to Jackie. And Jackie goes, I've been waiting for this, I've been praying for this, and Jackie just blows up. She goes senior manager, 7,000 plus QV, guys, and you have those legs running because she got 35 or more on each side. I'm going to go down and help her do that. That's what I wanted to tell you. See, that's my job as a partner, right? A brand partner with my partners that I bring in. When they're excited and coming in, I want to help them build those 2 legs. I call this a 2-legged senior manager, a 2-legged generation. I'm doing that to help that person, and I'm also stabilizing the income from my family long term. So if someone benefits from your effort, they're going to be grateful to you. But you want to anchor your businesses, and that's what attracted me to this compensation plan. It ain't just 4 levels or 8 levels. Man, baby, I could take this down to 30, 40, 50. Y'all don't let the wrong guy get his hands on this compensation plan, Jennifer. This is beautiful because I'm going to go in and I'm going to help her or him build those 2 legs. I'm going to have several teams that I'm doing the same thing to help that person always remain a senior manager from my family. And they can benefit from it too if they give me access to the network. And that's what all of you as leaders on this call should be looking at. Who can I help become a senior manager? Now, let's get a little further into this. This is what I'm after in that leg. This is exactly what I'm after. I'm looking to tap all those generations all the way down off the chart because this company lets you do it. So if you look at that person at generation one, that first person that went senior manager, maybe it's 3 or 4 people down. Maybe it's 5 that becomes generation two. Maybe the person right underneath that person opens up generation 3, but the next one in line, you got 5 or 6 people or 10 people between that one, guys. There are no limits to the number of orders in the generations. The only thing that caps the generation for you is when you reach the 5th senior manager in that line, as in this example. Now, this is the big picture. I'm going to leave it on the screen for like 20 seconds so you can digest it. Okay? I've actually drawn out here 5 teams, 5 legs that are actually all generational to me in this example, because they all have senior managers. Some have the senior manager on my top level. You're going to find them on your top level because they come in and they're getting to work. They're building. Some of them will be on your second level, maybe third level. It may be 6 or 7 levels before the senior manager develops to open up those 4 generations to you. And if you look at the second leg in this picture, the second leg over from the left, you'll see that goes all the way down, and there's a senior manager number 5. There's 4 other senior managers in that line. So they've opened up 4 generations, but it stops at senior manager number 5. So other people can benefit from the distributed commissions as well. So it stabilizes the comp plan. That's what I call a stability marker. It's not a limit, okay? Because there's no limit to how many of these you can build in width. You can build 100 plus legs if you want to, guys, or more, okay? So just digest this example. The senior managers pop up anywhere. But my job as a brand partner, working with my friends that trust me to build this business, I'm always asking them, who are your 2 most excited people? Like when we get off of Zoom, it ain't just a high five, guys. I want to know who's most excited, who's interested, because I'm looking to launch that person. My new person doesn't understand this yet. I understand it, and I want you to understand it. That's why we're doing the Zoom, and you can go back and play the recording. You make the most success when you help other people to succeed first. You open up that generation, it secures, in my opinion, no income claims, wealth for your family, but it also helps that person to do a lot better financially because you've helped them build an organization without leaving them alone on an island somewhere to figure it out, okay? So that's what the generational model looks like. I could preach it till the wheels fall off, guys, but it is heavy. And I hope you really take it for what it's worth, because in this model alone, I could see $500,000 to $1 million in monthly volume. That's what a lot of people don't understand. These are not just 1,000 PV circles, guys. Some of these folks are out here doing 10, 20,000 a month in volume, 3,000 a month in volume. There's a lot going on in an Ellie MD compensation plan. But for those of you who hadn't understood the generational model before or hadn't seen it before, this is the best I could do in the most exploited view to show you. You have 4 generations. It only stops at the 5th senior manager, and you have unlimited width in which you can do that. So with that, guys, this is the first slide I started with. It's the last slide I end with because it is the most important thing. You taking action. Rockets use 80% of their fuel or 90% of their fuel at launch, okay? And there's a lot of turbulence. There's no work-life balance in this initially when you're looking to build. Things are going to have to get pushed aside. If it ain't bleeding, I'll deal with it later. That's my philosophy, because I enjoy being a full-time dad. I enjoy being the only dad at PTA. And there's so many blessings that residual income can bring to your life. Again, no income claims, but keep it simple and teach everybody to get their product covered by getting their first 4 customers, shooting for 1,000 PV, by getting their best contacts on a Zoom or video presentation as soon as possible. And Jennifer and Laura, thank you for having me share. I'll turn the line back over to you.
Well, it's so good to see so many on the call. Thank you, Gary. It really makes a difference when you become a director and start getting the lifestyle bonuses and the generation pay. It is phenomenal. We were talking about this last night. I think there's still some surprises left when Gary's diving in deep to this comp plan. He gets more and more excited.